Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. And here on Invisible Condition, we get it. Life can be tough. Okay, I understand, right? 7 brain surgeries in. Okay, I get it. Life can be dicey sometimes. Thing is, there's always hope. Always hope. 100%. And that's where we choose to live, in the land of hope. If it's been a while for you, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about that. Bring you back. Come join us. It's nice here. So I want to talk to you just for a second before we bring our amazing guest on about our nonprofit side of our show, and that is Hydro with Hope. And so Hydro with Hope is an organization, a nonprofit that we set up a few years ago, to benefit people that live with the condition that I was born with, which is called hydrocephalus, which is really kind of an interesting condition that's really, really common, by the way. There's over 400,000 babies born with it every single year. And every 15 minutes during your typical day, there's somebody going under for surgery in some operating room somewhere to treat it. It is really common. Thing is, it's invisible. So you don't really know. If you have 1,000 Facebook friends, you probably know somebody with hydrocephalus. And so because it's invisible and because it's brain surgery at the drop of a hat, we wanted to help. And I know, that I've gone through a lot with it. I know my parents have gone through a lot with it. So we wanted to help other families. So we have a journal that we publish that's about 150 pages that can be very helpful, walk you through that process of, wow, we got to do what again? And we also, I love to meet with people, meet with families, talk them through some stuff, let them know that there is hope. Catherine and I, my wife and I, love to speak around the country about our story, so we have gotten to the point that we are larger for, we're too big for our britches here. So we have expanded our board, and if you would like to donate, hydrowithhope.com is where to do that. Thank you very much in advance. And if you know somebody that would be a great board member, I am all ears. Shoot me an email on this email, InvisibleCondition@e360tv.com. Also, if you know somebody that would like to advertise on TV to tens of thousands of amazing people that are watching our show, I'd love to talk to you too, because we love new advertisers as well, and so does our audience. So we'll talk soon. All right, here we go. Now, I am so excited to introduce you to this lovely young lady that I have coming on the show. Her name is Linda Grace Farley. And she is passionate about guiding clients through powerful shifts in mindset, purpose, and leadership skills. I've known her for several years, and she's so awesome. In her early 30s, Linda had an allergic reaction to anesthesia, yikes, that was used for a surgery that she had, and she found herself severely depressed following the surgery. So she says the only thing that kept her from checking herself into professional help in a facility somewhere was her son. And it's a great story. We'll get into it during the episode here. Her background is in Elite Mentorship Training, and that has equipped her with a unique approach and set of skills to unlocking human potential and facilitating deep, meaningful change. So whether she's leading a coaching session, facilitating breakthroughs with quantum human design, or supporting clients, she's awesome, and I can't wait for you to meet her. So let's bring her on. I'm kind of, I don't know what we're waiting for. Here we go. Linda, thank you so much for being here, man. This is so cool.
Hello, Jeff. Hello.
So I feel like this has been a long time coming. We met a while ago, and I feel like I've wanted to have you on the show for a long time, but we finally made it happen. So yay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. So when I do have one question that I like to ask everybody at the very beginning, because it's so relatable and there's no wrong answer. And so here we go. During the darkest times, during your toughest days, how do you still maintain hope?
Before or now?
You pick. Either
Okay.
way, both.
Now I don't get into those dark days. I have different strategies I use because I could feel when things are coming on.
Mhm.
And I know I have to raise my frequency. It's that simple. I got to raise my vibration. I got to make sure I'm hydrated. I have to make sure I'm not eating foods that's not going to agree with me, all of the above.
Right.
So, and then exercise, go out for a walk, be in nature. So there's ways to maintain so that I don't get to that point where I was at my darkest.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. It's always better to do that. Yeah. Let's not get back to that point.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know there was a guest on the show a while back, a few months ago, and he was talking about his daughter that was autistic, and she was so sweet. She had the greatest line for that. There was an event that he was dropping her off at gymnastics or something, and something happened where she was carrying something and she dropped it, and it shattered on the floor, and it was loud, and she, her brain just kicked into overdrive, and and it took a few minutes to get everything calmed down and get back in the car and go home and everything. And the dad was like, "Man, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. That man, that'll really make for a rough day, huh?" And she looks at her dad and goes, "Daddy, it's only just a few minutes. It doesn't ruin the whole day. We still have the whole rest of the day. It's going to be fine." It's like,
she is so spot on.
See?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love it, man. They haven't let that in yet. They haven't like, oh, well, I guess my whole day's ruined. I think that's an adult thing we've started doing, and it's it's nonsense. So yeah, love it.
It's either you're a victim or a survivor.
That's right. That's 100%. So, well, I tell you what. Hello, everybody in TV land. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, please, if you hear something that Linda says or that I say or that we say in the conversation, and it sparks something in your brain and you go, whoa, wait, that's not what I've always heard, or I have a question about that, or you're dead wrong and I'm going to argue with you. I mean, I don't like arguing, but if you need to, drop a comment in the chat, and we can go back and forth on and talk, and then also this is Linda's this QR code will bring you to Linda's website, and that will have a way to get a hold of her, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later about what else you'll find there. But let's dive in, man. Let's take us back to that moment after surgery, man. You had an allergic reaction, best you can tell, to the anesthesia, and then you didn't know what to do. You were depressed.
Initially, when I had the surgery, I was in the hospital for almost a week, but it got to about the fourth day, and I literally felt my nervous system was in overdrive. I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah,
I had no idea what it was. My muscles were like as if I was, running and exercising when in overdrive. So the symptoms did not start until probably a month out. Because when you're out of balance, all the different chemicals and such that your body's releasing, it's looking to get back into balance. And if you don't know and you're just doing, it's going to bring you down into the cesspool. Right. And it wasn't until I had to go back for post-op checkup, and I was sitting there and the doctor says, "Oh, okay, well, you can go back to work and you can, resume activities." And I just broke down, and he says, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I have no idea." And the interesting thing was he's concerned right away. They think suicidal. That wasn't even in my narrative. But I do appreciate. And he happened to have a psychiatrist on his staff, and his nurse said, that doctor really wants you to go check him out. So I went for 2 months, twice a week, to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was talking. It's like talk therapy.
Yeah.
He did put me on some type of medication that, I could not function on it at all. It wasn't, I don't remember the actual prescription, but it was, I think the one that Patty Duke was on was like lithium or something like that.
Yeah, that's strong stuff.
Yeah. So it was one step below that. It had the same thing, but I didn't have to have my liver checked every month or something. And so I walked into his office, and I was in I'll say a feisty mood, so to speak. So I asked him, oh yeah. And I said to him, so let me ask you something, Doc. I said, what's the prognosis? And he says, well, I think you had a generalized depression with post-op depression. I said, okay, what caused it? And he says, well, it's there's a lot of different factors and like this. And I said, so how do I fix it? And then I knew at that point he had no clue of what it was. And I turned around and I walked out of the office, and it was almost like, I call it my warrior archetype, got triggered. And I said, I'll be darned, not me.
Yep.
And I just went, because during the 6 weeks of going through that, I mean, there's different things. Like my husband brought me home flowers, and there was nothing. I felt nothing.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody had taken my whole emotional body and put it someplace else. This was a shell.
Yeah.
I would watch TV and start crying or something to that effect. So, but the deepest, darkest part was during that time, and to feel nothing, no matter what I did. It was like, whatever. If I eat, I eat. If I don't, I don't. I feel I had to experience it to appreciate, because in my line or my life, it was ancestral. My dad, I grew up with my dad, and he would be 6 months on, 6 months off.
Yeah. Wow.
Something would trigger him, and then he would start his descent, and you could see it, and then he would be pretty manic. Yeah. So.
My goodness. Well, so there's some pretty solid mental health struggles that you've gone through and endured, and not just you. I mean, that's the trouble is, so many of those especially mental health, right? That's why this is called invisible condition. That's why
exactly,
because so many of those mental health struggles go undiagnosed or untreated. If they are diagnosed, if you're lucky enough to get the diagnosis and at least go down the road of treatment, it still goes untreated. So what signs did you see that you like, looking back? What did you see that you may have missed or minimized at the time?
Well, I think a lot of things come into play, as I reflect back, because I could remember being in 8th grade and just pulling myself away from everybody and sitting at a brook that we had in our town, just by myself and just crying.
Yeah.
For no reason. I mean, well, I can't say no reason. I felt empty. I felt unloved. I felt all the above. So, people say that, oh, well, if you're not loved, I think that the emotions plays a major part.
Huge.
If you have the propensity of having depression because it runs in your family, it's in your DNA, it's your genetic code. And right away, especially with women, oh, well, it's her time of month or something to that effect. Or, oh, suck it up. You're being too sensitive.
You're so emotional. Yeah.
Exactly. not realizing that there's this chemical imbalance in my
Yeah.
body
Uh-huh.
that is triggering
Yeah.
all of the emotions. And, you know, people that have not experienced depression, it's like you don't thrive. You know, like you're going through
Yeah.
the motions. Yes, I'm going to school. I'm not being sociable. I don't want to talk, you know, or somebody talking about me, because you're going to find that emptiness, that feeling that you have, nothing is going to satisfy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you go in your room, let me read a book. Oh, what are you reading a book for? Go outside. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
but it was like I could get lost into a book, into becoming into another world. Right. But going back to your original question, I think I was probably pre puberty when I actually started feeling like, is this all there is?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
It can start really early, and you don't know what it is then. You just don't know what you don't know, and your brain isn't developed enough as a teenager to even register that that's going on.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
And what do you say to people?
Well,
I
what
remember,
can you say?
yeah, I remember telling a nun, one of the nuns from the school I went to,
Yeah.
and I went in to, you know, and just to open my heart to her. And she says, "Oh, well, you're just jealous."
What? What?
Oh,
What?
well, that wasn't what I was expecting to hear. Jealous.
Come
Jealous
on.
of what?
Right?
You know? Oh,
Come
well,
on.
you know, you have jealousy in your heart or something to that effect. But yeah. And then you get to the point where you don't tell anybody anything, because right away they're going to label you as being yeah, whatever it
Yeah.
is. But
Right.
there is I did recently look at the percentage. There's 40% heritable, I think they call it, that you're 3 times more likely to develop depression if you have a sibling or a parent who is. And growing up with my dad, oh, what the heck did that, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
back then there was no such thing as bipolar. I think, you know, it wasn't even manic back then. You
Nobody
know?
knew what it was. It didn't mean it didn't exist. Nobody knew what to do with it. Yeah.
But the therapies they used back then, I mean, you're talking about in the 60s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Electric shock therapy. I could remember,
Yeah.
you know, all around the holidays, we would have to bring him, you know, and he would stay at the state hospital so that he could have a treatment. And what they tried to do was knock it out of him, or electrocute him, so to speak. They would put him in cold rooms with just a sheet on him. I mean, all the horror stories. And then when he got out, he was like, thank God I'm out. Because when they sent him in there, he was in there for, you know, a few weeks. He would come out for the day so that he could have like Thanksgiving dinner with us or something. You know?
There are so many things over the history of this world that, I mean, you know, we look back at that and go, how barbaric is that, right? And how terrible. And there's things happening over the last 5, 10, 20 years now in recent history that we're probably 100 years from now are probably going to look back and go, what in the world were we thinking? Right? That's just how human nature works. So, but I tell you what, I'm so glad we got that part of the story, because it's going to make the next segment even better, because we're going to come back after the commercial here and we're going to talk about, I mean, we can touch a little more about on that if you'd like, but I really want to go in the direction of the amazing work that you're doing with the quantum human design now, because this has all fed into that. This is all, I mean, this is the cool part of the story, guys. Seriously, you don't want to miss this. So I'm gonna take this off the screen. We'll put it back when we come back, and we'll see you here in just a minute, Linda, and everybody stick around. And I want to, before we do that commercial, because I love I love coffee, right? So I'm going to talk about that for a second before we go to a commercial. So for those of you that don't know, that haven't been watching for the last several weeks, I am a straight up coffee nerd. Okay. I'm fully aware. My family's aware. I can admit it. Okay. If a bag of coffee doesn't have a roast date that's within a couple of weeks of me buying it, I don't want anything to do with it. Okay. I don't want to drink it. So that's why I'm so thankful for Mike at Roast to Order Coffee. Okay. They get it. Roast to Order Coffee gets it. They roast the beans fresh. They ship them to your door, and they are always coming up with new amazing varieties, flavors, types of coffee, delivery methods for coffee. So if you like it in your Mr. Coffee coffee maker, or if you have like a Keurig or something with the pods, right? If you like flavored coffee, like all over the years, their customers have said, "Hey, why don't you have any of like this?" And he said, "Oh, you like that? Okay, we'll do it." And then it sells, and people are happy. And so he listens to his customers. It's awesome. So whether you are a fan of an Ethiopian light roast, an espresso, decaf, flavored coffee, little pods, Mike's got you covered. Christmas is coming. We're in December. It's coming quick. He also does e-gift cards and coffee subscriptions. So for the coffee lover in your life, coffee subscription is the ticket. That's what you want. That's what they want. Even if they don't tell you, that's what they want. That's what I want. So use this QR code to order, and you will get 20% off your first order. So, all right. That is groovy. We will be right back. I'll see you after the break.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Linda. Thank you for being here. This is awesome.
Thank you.
If you missed it in the first segment, it's been a long time that this has been coming. I've known Linda for a while, and we finally got it. We finally got here. So I'm very excited to share you with my audience. So why don't we talk about just for a second what people are going to find when they go to that QR code? It's going to go to your website. What can people find there? Can they get a hold of you?
There's my phone number as well as my email address. And if anyone watches, I have a video out there. If they watch the video, I'm giving a free ebook away. Nice. One of the programs that I support is the video. So you can see how you can actually help change your life by participating in one of the courses. Yeah, so
awesome.
So listen to me. I'm a Toastmaster and I'm filling in filler words here. I'm catching myself. Yes.
I didn't hear a thing. I won't tell anybody. Don't worry. Don't worry. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
So you describe yourself as I've known you, and I think I even said something maybe in the intro. If I didn't, maybe I just thought it, but you are a researcher. Like, you dive into stuff and you're like, let's figure it out. Can you just tell us, like, what does that mean? Like, I'm not. So what does that mean to be a researcher?
I don't take things on just somebody says, oh, Linda, you need, oh, no. We are not, I'm not a cookie cutter. I'm not, right. I like to
That's
say
true.
that we are all unique, and
Yes.
things that would apply to you may not necessarily apply to me, but we can discuss those. So in the process of trying to find myself, the steps I took in getting on the better side of depression was to empower myself. And of course, knowledge is power. And through various courses I've taken, the first class, or the first book I should say, I took interest in was Dianetics, because it helped me to understand the energy that exists. So when I was in the womb, if my mother was having, and I suspect she probably had some depression issues, especially, certain times a month, even though she wasn't menstruating. I would imagine that's some type of chemical thing.
Sure.
And right on through. And I never thought of it, that if she was having a bad day, well, that was the hidden files in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love the fact that, it makes sense, because we're energetically connected, not only energetically, but chemically connected to our mothers in the womb while we're in the womb. But I look at things, and I am a researcher, but from a perspective of, I have to test things before I recommend them.
Right.
And you mentioned quantum human design, and I will tell you that it was 2013, the end of 2013, and I happened to be on a master class with my teacher, Dr. Parker, Karen Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something that resonated with what she said. And I said, I got to look into this a little bit more.
Yeah.
And when she did a reading for me, I remember Jeff sitting there and saying, oh my God. I felt this huge shift, because she said to me, in the 30 minutes I had with her, I brought up the fact, well, can you see anything about my health? Because if I don't have my health, I have nothing.
Right.
And she warned me about burning out my adrenal glands. And I could see that, because I was in working overdrive, so to speak, in trying to make it in corporate America. And the other thing was, I was looking at doing something for the next chapter in my life. And I wanted to get involved with nonprofits. And she says, Linda, should you choose to get into the communications field, you'll be very good at it. And I'll show you why. But the one thing that resonated more than anything was the next sentence she said. If you chose to get on stage and you're talking to people, they won't see you. They will see themselves through you, because you're their mirror.
Nice.
And Jeff, it was all my life. I'm like, look at me. I'm a good girl. I'm doing this. And I was never acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I can do that. Wait a second. I can do that. I could speak, and I'm touching the hearts of other people.
Yeah.
And he said, Linda, wait a minute. If Linda could do that, as in conquering depression, overcoming depression, doing all the above, then I can do that. So let me be that inspiration. Let me be that motivation. And that's the drive that continues beyond. And situations has come in, I've been presented with intention experiments.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Talking people off the ledge and not realizing it. All of a sudden I get that vibe. I call it my intuitive, bone. People call me and it's like, okay. And I don't know what I say to them, but I just get into that flow, and I'm talking, and I feel the shift,
Yep.
and then I know that they're safe. Suicidal. How can, it's
Yeah.
because they're feeling so bad, nobody understands them, and they just want to make it go away.
Well, and yes, exactly. And that you can sense that is awesome. And I kind of feel like that myself sometimes. I mean, everybody's got different levels of it, right? It's like,
Sure.
but, so when people, so you, I mean, you've worked with like the Elite Mentorship Training, right? And quantum human design. So when people connect with you and you go, like, they want to work with you in that, they scan the QR code and they get in touch with you and they say, all right, what do we do? What do we do first? What can they expect? Like, do you offer, is it like coaching? Is it readings? Is it what are you offering people?
First, we have a conversation, Jeff, because one of the things that I'm trained in is conversational intelligence. We have a conversation. They have to trust me. Right.
Yes.
We're looking at the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And I'm a listener for them. If they feel that they can work with me, or if I feel that I could work with them, because I'll physically feel, nope, this person is not ready. Then we just go to, that's with the complimentary hour session that I give them.
Okay.
And then what do you want to accomplish out of this?
Yep.
So the first step would be to do a quantum human design reading so they understand their strengths, their weaknesses, the type that they are, and they can work with the different energies in order to rise above uncertainty, to rise above things that may impact them. Because when you have awareness, Jeff, it's like, okay, there's a storm coming. Hey, I got awareness. I'm not going to worry about it. There's a hurricane coming up the East Coast or something to that effect, right? Hey, you know what? I'm fine. Yeah. When you have that power of knowing, then everything else comes in, takes a backseat. And when you have that knowledge and that power, any programming and conditioning you may have had in your life, just kind of, oh, wait a minute. Oh, you better be fearful about this. No, you know what? I'm okay. I mean, that's where I've evolved to.
Yeah.
I have relatives up north who will call me when they see a hurricane coming through Florida, and I'll say,
okay? Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm protected, as I like to say them. I'm protected. I'm good. Nothing's gonna happen to me. So we just let it be. But everybody has the power within them. They just haven't been shown where to look. So from quantum human design reading, then I'll coach them through that. And they understand it like I did. I'm not sure if you knew, there is Abundance by Design, and I had contributed to that book. And I talk about my dad, right?
Nice.
And imagine how life would be if you were raised with an understanding of what you could do because of what you bring to what's your purpose, what's your mission. Yeah. So in that respect, right now they've rebuilt their foundation. They're getting comfortable. They understand that. Now we got to get rid of the baggage. So we have some things that we offer with that, either one-on-one coaching or, I have programs that I promote where they can do it on, once a month. We'll have a coaching call and they can do this course. That's a year program online, self-paced, or they can work with me for 6 months, and that each one is different, but it's all about where they are in their journey.
Yeah.
And to be totally honest, Jeff, there's so many people hurting.
Yeah.
Where do they go? And I could sense it. And the thing is, I look at coaches a lot. People will jump from coach to coach to coach because they're looking for fill in the blanks, right? And they're not getting it. They're not getting it because they won't look themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's a hard reality. When you look yourself in the mirror and say, you think nothing's wrong, try videotaping yourself. If you want to get enlightened, if you want to get the enlightenment, Jeff, try videotaping yourself. See your actions. See the way that you present yourself. Because if I'm being candid, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, wow, maybe I could have done this. That is, if I'm projecting this to other people, right, that may not be in line with who I want to be. And then I can make changes. You see how that works?
Yeah. See, but at the same time, after doing this for almost 3 years now, it's been 3 years. It's only been 3 years, but it's already been 3 years, and I've learned a lot. And I've learned, one of the main things I've learned. And when people, get done with the show and they're like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I did. I missed saying that. Just like when you're speaking, right? First of all, nobody's going to know. You're the only one that knows if you missed something. And number two, what came out and what was shared is exactly what was supposed to be shared.
Absolutely.
And so I used to beat myself up with that sometimes too, when I would go speak for a conference or something, or go on a show. But I've gotten to the point, you grow, right? You go, well, it's not, that's just how it went that time. And next time I'll do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
So, people got to realize it.
Yeah, I look at some of the quotes from, I think it was Gretzky. You only, one shot? You get 1,000 to get one shot, good shot, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I think we put on ourselves so much stress to get it right the first time. Well, if you've never made a cake and then decide to go into the kitchen, it may not work. Right? Yeah. It takes practice, and not everybody's willing to. They want that fix. Let me. That's why the pharmaceutical. Let's be honest. Let's go there. Pharmaceutical drugs is very easy. Hey, let me take a pill. Mama's Little Helper. Like the Rolling Stones had that song out, Mama's Little Helper, right? Here, let me take a pill so I don't have to feel. I don't have to. Well, that's not reality.
Yeah.
We feel. So how do you want to feel?
Right.
I could say with my hands, but no. How do I want to feel? And energetically, what I'm feeling, I'm giving off to others. You could change the atmosphere, and I've tested this, like you were saying about research.
Yeah.
You could change the atmosphere of a room that you walk in, depending on the attitude you have. So if you're feeling miserable and everything else, and you just sit there and wallow in how miserable your life is, that energy is like a bad apple. Right? You can also do the opposite, but that's why life is an experience, experimental. Try it. Get in a happy mood. Like I was listening yesterday to what's that song? Don't worry, be happy.
Nice.
That's a nice, peppy.
Bobby McFerrin. I love that song.
That's it. And I went into different places, and what happened? I told you about going to the senior expo because I had that
running through your head the whole time.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
nice.
It was fabulous. People don't realize the impact that music has on individuals.
Totally. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's that The Messages in the Water by the Japanese doctor. I can't I can never say his name, but there's so much research out there. Who are we?
Yeah.
And what impacts us?
Yeah. It's true, man. It's 100% true. I want to say something about that music thing too, but I'm going to do it on the other side of the break because we're going to go to a break right now. But,
okay.
I'm going to write this down so I remember to say it on the other side. So, cause it's true. What you said kind of sparked something in my brain, and then we'll go down another rabbit hole when we get back. So everybody stick around. It's fun. Rabbit holes are fun. So stick around and let's see where it goes. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck, on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines, which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships. Right here on E360 TV.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are almost done, but we still got about 10 minutes left. So we're going to dive into a little more conversation here. Mm-hmm. But one thing that you mentioned in the last segment that I wanted to just throw out there real quick, and then we're going to dive into something. But you said something about music and how that can change your whole outlook, change your whole mood, change your whole day. And I found an app a long time ago. There's Shazam, I think, is one of them, and then there's one called SoundHound. And that app, I swear, SoundHound is probably, I use that app every single day. And what it is it says, and I'm not getting paid for this, by the way. I don't even know. If you want to be a sponsor, I would be fully up for it, but I'm not getting paid for this. So this one's for free, but it's on my phone. So you open the app and it automatically starts listening, and whatever music is playing in the vicinity, it'll pick up and it'll identify that song, and it'll capture it for you. And it'll capture the song and it'll put it in a playlist, and you can go back and play it again. So I've got like 300 songs in a playlist just from that app. And I'll be walking around, and have you ever seen the movie With Honors with Joe Pesci and Brendan Fraser and Wyra Kelly? And
I think I may have.
Anyway, yeah. It's about a bum that's living in the basement at Harvard, and Anyway, so this bum, Joe Pesci's character, carries around a pouch full of stones.
Oh, yes.
Right? And he picks up, he says, "This is my life. Every time I have a meaningful experience, I pick up a stone. And this one was a beach in Bali. And this one was when this happened, and that's my sound. That's SoundHound for me. It's my pouch of stones. It's my, so I listen to a song, and it brings me right back to where I heard it, when I heard it, and who I was with, and what we were doing. And it's so cool. Music is so powerful. So yeah, when you said that, I was like, I got to say something about that. So if anybody hasn't downloaded that app, it's great. So,
well, it's interesting. You caught that, because when I have my first public speaking class when I was finishing my degree.
Yeah.
I got turned on to the theory of music therapy. And I was like, well, what's that all about? Well, if you want to like if you're studying for an exam, listen to Baroque music.
Yes.
Because Baroque had the tempo is 4 to 7 beats per second or something.
Time signature is different. Yeah.
But that's the same tempo your brain brings in information.
Nice.
So I tested it, a researcher here. I went from a C+ to an A- in 10 weeks in the class. Actually, it was less than that because I couldn't get, I was just so nervous, standing up there. So what I did, I borrowed some classical music from my brother, made a little CD, brought a boombox into class, and I as I was doing my speech, and everyone remembered everything I said. Isn't that crazy?
I love that.
There's so much that we don't know about.
That's exactly what I was talking about with that example. It's like, so the music is playing. I'm in this environment. I'm with these people. I'm doing these things. I want to remember it. So I record this, I capture the song. And then when it's same thing. And then you capture it, you listen to it, and it instantly brings you back there. Yeah.
Yes.
It's the brain is amazing with that kind of stuff.
And if you look at Hidden Messages on the Water, the book was all the different types of music, like metal, heavy metal. The crystals are all, like splattered. But if you have something that's instrumental, the crystals that are produced are the most exquisite that you can. So think about this. We have what in our blood is 75% of our bodies.
Yeah.
Right. That's why the full moon affects us, and it affects the waves, high tide and low tide. So what do you think the frequency of music is doing to the
not only the music, but things people say to you and the tone of voice they use.
Absolutely.
To say it. And the conversations you're in and the environments you're in. Is it a tense situation? Is it right? And I've seen visuals of that. I saw a video about that one time, and there was these different pictures of the blood cells or the water cells in the body.
Exactly.
On the music they were hearing or the conversation they were hearing it was fascinating.
And think about this, right? It's the tone, like you were saying.
Yep.
So here you are in a room having a conversation with, work or whatever, and somebody lashes out at you and says something in that tone, and then you get triggered, and then but that's when, because there's all these hidden files, that's when you turn around and you say, oh, I do this applied kinesiology little thing.
Yep.
Oh, let me show me yes, show me no. Okay, fine. Is this mine? And is it no? Oh, guess what? The energy's leaving me.
Yep.
Because it's not going to hitchhike and it's not going to stand on me. So when it comes to depression, are there energetic influence? I would say 100% yes.
Yes.
We absorb other people's energy, making connections with them. And if we have a sympathetic vein, if you will, to what we're going to take it on because we have familiarity with it. And it's all about knowing your body, knowing your triggers. If you get triggered, ask yourself, okay, so say hypothetically, Jeff, the answer was yes. If I say, okay, is this mine? Yes. Okay. First thing you do is ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this way?
Yep.
The brain's a magnificent.
It'll know.
It will turn around and say, oh, I like to use it now. Oh, wait a minute. Let me find that file for you. And then bring it back. And then this memory pops up. And that's when you could reframe it.
Yes.
You could look at it and say, God forgive them for they know not what they did. It's like, I'm taking my power back, baby. You're not,
baby.
Yeah, you're not controlling me anymore. I'm putting up that fence. I'm putting up those boundaries. You don't have control over me.
So then
there's so much that we could do.
Yeah.
If we look for people to help us.
Well, and if we look for people, the right people to help us, and to realize how much power you already have in your own brain, in your own heart, in your own body, that you don't even know. Like, you just don't know what you don't know. And that's part of what you can help people realize too, is through your program probably is like, look, you have more power in you than you think you do. And so it's, I mean, that's what I've learned from people that same way. So it's phenomenal. So we have about 2 minutes left. So in the last 60 to 90 seconds of what we have here, what would you like to leave our audience with?
You give me 90 seconds and my brain says, oops, wait a minute. One thing I want to say is you're more powerful than you have been led to believe. Don't limit yourself, right? Be limitless. Look at yourself and say, okay, this doesn't work for me anymore. Why are you carrying the baggage of many years? Why are you carrying that resentment? Why are you carrying that victimhood? Because let's face it, when it comes to depression, not making light of it at all.
No. Because
it is a chemical imbalance, but we have a tendency of, oh, well, I'm not feeling. So then you can go down that rabbit hole because your wishes weren't satisfied.
You're almost expected to. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I would tell everybody is you have the power. Beyond comprehension, when you realize how powerful you are, there's nothing going on in the world, no media that's trying to get your attention and make you feel bad. There's nothing and nobody that can penetrate that inner sanctum, that you have built that beautiful wall around, because that's your landscape. And nobody can penetrate that unless you give them permission to.
That's for sure. 100%. Well, I am, it's true. Some people needed to hear that. I think some people have never heard that before, maybe. So thank you for saying that. That was awesome. And I would totally invite everybody to please scan this QR code, because I'm going to take it down in about 30 seconds. So scan the QR code right now so that you can meet with Linda, because she had a lot of cool stuff to say. But by the way, Catherine and I, my wife and I, have gone through some of this with her, and we've gotten our quantum design. Like we went through all that, and she walked us through everything. And like my wife's mind was just blown. I was like, yeah, I met with her first, and then I had Catherine come the next time. She's like, whoa. So if you want, if this is fascinating stuff that you have, trust me, you've never had something like this before. So please get in touch with Linda. And Linda, thank you for being here and for taking your time. I'm so thankful that you were here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't go anywhere. We'll talk after the show, but stick around and thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome, Jeff. Appreciate you as well.
Thank you. All right. All right. Okay. Nope. It went dark. So now I got to take it off the screen. There it goes. It's gone. If you want the QR code back, you'll have to go back and watch the show again. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first show, welcome. Glad you're here, and you got to hear somebody awesome on your first show. Well done. Like, follow, subscribe, share, all the things. If this is your favorite show, if you're like, wow, that was awesome, share it. It might be somebody else's too. They just don't know it yet. So join us for our next show on Tuesday, December 9th. And until then, we will look forward to seeing you then, and have a wonderful day.